We are now in the Modern Warfare 2 live beta on PlayStation. That's ending tomorrow, and that'll be today by the time you hear it. With the new beta coming up live again this weekend for all platforms. But knowing that I am a Warzone channel and not a 6v6 channel, let's talk about how the Modern Warfare 2 beta plays, what it means for us, and what it means for the future of Warzone. And let's also talk about where Warzone's at and what it's about to get into. And let's just kind of do a what's new and what's coming. Let's get into it. So we are in some plunder here on Caldera. We've got ourselves a good old M4 because, you know, Modern Warfare. And we're just going to drop it and kind of shoot things. So first off, let's talk about what's new. So we are currently in Season 5, the last known season for Warzone before we get access to, most likely, Warzone 2. We are in Season 5, about to be Season 5 Reloaded. Now, looking at the Battle Pass, I would imagine the new Season 5 Reloaded coming out here in probably 2 to 3 weeks. It's about 60-ish days out from the Battle Pass ending, which is about 60-ish days out until we're going to get access to the new game. And usually it happens about 45 days in, or 45 days from the end of the Battle Pass, which puts us right about 2 weeks. So with that being said, that's a lot of people landing on me. The Season 5 Reloaded is going to be bringing us 2 new ARs, the BP-50 and Liena 57. The BP-50 looking like the F2000 if you're a Battlefield fan, and then the Liena 57 looking like another version of some sort of Galil or what have you. I'm not quite certain, as it is not it is not generally what we deal with a lot. The Liena 557 kind of looks a bit like a AK, like an AK variant. So maybe a Galil, maybe an AK, maybe a weapon that I'm not familiar with. But we've got that coming. Also, we still have Seraph and Gabriel Rorik, 2 of the antagonists from different games. Seraph obviously being from Black Ops 3 and Rorik from Ghost. I would imagine that there will most likely be more crazily themed bundles to be coming with us, as that is pretty much a fan favorite right now for Warzone. I don't imagine there will be any more of the Umbrella Academy characters, but if you also paid attention, you saw they brought back the SAW bundle and the pretty much any of the bundles that you haven't already got from the Halloween set, as it seems like they are looking to capitalize on some of the last standing parts that they sold from Modern Warfare before you're over here into Warzone 2. I don't imagine we're going to get very many alterations to Caldera after this, as I think the Caldera section of this world is probably pretty done for. And then I imagine we will be quickly on our way over into Warzone 2 not too long after that. So get the last bit of your Caldera in before it is no longer with us. And then get your first bit of Warzone 2. Which Warzone 2 is the part that I really want to talk about because it's probably going to be the part that's the most different. So over the weekend, a lot of content creators got access to Warzone 2. I say a lot, it wasn't really a lot in comparison to the number of people who could be playing it, but there was a whole lot of them that got access to Warzone 2. And a lot of people have made their videos about it and how they feel about it based off what they played. And while I can appreciate the look at the videos or the look at the gameplay and how all of it runs, I don't believe we got a very accurate representation of how the game is going to play. The first time for those content creators to get a hold of the game. The majority of the content creators were also going to be spending more of their time trying to stay alive than really trying to get, you know, a good feel of the game. Because they didn't want to be the people who were downed early and then spent the rest of their time just spectating. There's no fun in that. Even as players now, none of us really want to sit here and spectate. So why would they want to sit there and spectate on a limited access to a game, you know? Just doesn't seem like a smart way to do it. Once we get access to it, once we actually get into the game and see how it really feels, how the pacing really is, I think that's where the that's where we will really start to see what Warzone 2 is about. And with that being said, I look forward to a lot of the changes. I know a lot of people are kind of split or just altogether not for the idea of no loadouts. I particularly am excited for the no loadouts part. I think the no loadouts part might lead us to a situation where players are just forced to learn how to play the game better rather than rely on a lot of the zero recoil stuff, which is a large portion of what the game is now. Build your meta weapon, get zero recoil gun, attempt to fight people with that. Now, with that being said, you know, there is still loadout builds, or you can still build your favorite gun and then bring it into the game. But it is a bit more expensive than it was in this game. Obviously, it's 10K or something of the sort for one gun rather than 10K for two. Overkill doesn't seem to be in the game, and they appear to not have perks currently either. So no perks, no free loadout drop. Everything's kind of expensive. I can see a lot of the gameplay dictating around now your ability to understand circles, push your fights, and win your fights that way. One of the things that I think is an odd adjustment is the 3-circle system. The 3-circle system coming to Warzone 2, it feels like a good idea that might go over poorly. As I don't foresee a lot of situations in which case the 3-circle system is going to actually favor most of the players. I feel like the 3-circle system is going to end up actually causing more issues for a lot of players, because now you're dealing with 3 separate forms of rotation for each fight. And while I like the idea of variety, at the same time, the number of ways that you can just get completely screwed over by a circle is already high in Warzone. And so to take that and then extend it over even further is, whew, it could be rough. I'm excited also for just the general overhaul of the way that the guns feel, work, and the way that the gameplay should run based on what I feel from the beta. With that also being said, there is a whole lot of situations where that may not go as planned, because we don't have access to all of the attachments, and so therefore we do not know how all of the guns are going to feel by the time they get fully unlocked. The guns could turn themselves into, again, 0 recoil beamers, and then we'll end up with a situation in which the loadouts will be even stronger than they were before. And if any of us are familiar with loadouts, we know that they're already pretty darn strong. So we obviously don't want to have that be a big issue where you don't get any free loadouts. Everybody who has their loadouts is just unkillably strong, and then we are stuck in a world where it's again rush to money. They added the first circle loadout drops to the game in an attempt to stop that rush for money feel. But unfortunately enough, with the changes, we might end up running into that as well. So that's something you need to consider once you get into Modern Warfare 2, preparing for Warzone 2, or once you get into Warzone 2 and think about how you need to approach the game. The overall changes, I think, should be positive based on the way that the game feels like it should be going. Again, though, that is one of those things that as we continue to play, that could change dramatically. And I hope not. I hope that it ends up being the skill-based game that I want it to be, you know? So this is the moment where I obviously ask you guys, how are you feeling about what you've seen in the game? Do you feel like the game has a lot of potential to be a great BR? Do you feel like they need to add loadout drops like they have currently? And if they do add in loadout drops, is this something that you would like to see work similar to Warzone? Or is there a different way you'd like to see the loadout drops work? I know I personally, if they're going to add loadouts, would like them to make it so that there is no overkill, because I do not feel as if overkill is a very balanced situation. I feel like the overkill is part of what caused a lot of the issues in the game, or just perks overall. So maybe Warzone without the perks and make you forced to buy those, or maybe Warzone just altogether without loadouts. I don't know. But that's why I ask these questions to you guys, because I love to see where you're at on this. Thank you all so much for checking out the video. I do appreciate you. We stream here 7 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play shooters. We've been playing a lot of Warzone, obviously, for a long time. We've been on the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and then we are going to be on some Modern Warfare 2 when it comes out, and of course, Warzone 2 and the DMZ mode as well. So if you all have something you want to see in particular, let me know. I'd love to cover it. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, peace.